Back, Bravehearts. I'm Dr. Darrell Wolf, and this is DocStar TV, and this is Real People, Real Healing. And I'm going to be bringing Megan on in a second, and today's conversation is cellulite. And understand something, cellulite is something that not people overweight get, but people even underweight get. So understand, is it fat? What is it? Okay, and we're going to be talking about that. All right. But first, I want to talk about this, and that is I will also be on later today, just after noon Eastern Standard Time, in between noon and 1 o'clock, with Robert, and we're going to be talking about throat problems. We're talking about esophageal problems and severe ones that can take you down. And what happened to him when he took a very strong round of antibiotics, and what happened to his esophagus. But understand something, we're not going to blame the antibiotics. It was just the straw that broke the camel's back. Everybody looks for something to point at, don't they? We can blame the medical system. We can blame the natural health system. We can blame the food corporations, and you can if you want. But the reality is that you do have a choice to wake up. You do have a choice to do some research. You do have a choice to love and care for yourself. And that's the big deal. And most people will never be able to do it. Whether you believe this or not, most people will never be able to love and care for themselves because they don't have a belief system that'll even support it. Okay, so let's take Megan. Megan, do you have children?
Yes.
Okay, and how old are those children?
6 and 9.
6 and 9 years old. Okay, so do you believe that women are programmed to suffer for their spouses, to suffer for their children, and the more they suffer, the better moms they are, and the more that they burn themselves out, and the more they stress when the child goes to school or goes anywhere, that makes a good mommy?
Yes, I see that for sure.
Okay, well, guess what? You've been ruled, schooled, and fooled. And understand, 5,000 years ago, we'll get to the cellulite thing, but 5,000 years ago, Megan, government and religion got together, and if you don't believe me, go to why would you believe me? Because everybody lies, and most of the people that come on here and do my real people, real healing, they lie too, because nobody wants to disappoint people. Did you ever notice that, Megan? How you will lie because you don't want to disappoint someone, or you don't want to upset your husband, or you just want to try to have it all smooth in the world. Guess what? The day that you love and honor and respect yourself, you can lovingly tell the truth and be able to change personalities and change realities and have a better life. And understand this. We've been all ruled, schooled, and fooled, and I don't want anybody to think that I'm judging them out there. Or Megan, I'm not judging her. The reality is Megan's online right now. She's doing this. She's face-to-face, and she wants to take massive personal action and change her life. And without that, you're never going to change your life. There's no weight loss program that works. There's no such thing as a weight loss program. Okay. For one thing, excess weight is infection and inflammation. We'll go through that. But it's mainly infection and inflammation in the brain first before it's in the body. Do you understand that, Megan?
Yes.
Okay. So tell me how you understand it.
Because I know that I'm very into all the stuff you're talking about, and I study energy and food and all that, but I know from my experience growing up that I had a message that my body was like, I was chubby, but I didn't understand that it had to do with the food I was eating. I just thought it was who I was, and that...
Well, chubbiness is actually swelling of the body, and the body will swell up first and retain water to try to put out the fire, which is inflammation that was created by the infection of the toxic belief systems and the dishonoring and disrespecting of yourself, even when you were a little girl, because you weren't honored and respected like you should have been by your parents, but they didn't know how to honor and respect themselves or each other. How am I doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then one thing that I know when I was 10 is when I started to get a pot belly. So when you're talking about pooping in your pelvis, I know that that's when my body started to change. And I for sure had the belief that, like, I had not mattering, not existing, my feelings.
Yeah, and guess what? You didn't fit in anywhere either, just like the rest of us. By the time we're 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, we don't fit in anywhere. By the time we're 13, we're looking for a new family. By the time we're 15, most of us have no trouble pulling our pants off looking for love.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. So it's the same old story, and understand that. You know, from 0 to 7, we're like a sponge. From 0 to 7, okay, we're in a theta state. From 0 to 7, everything that is around you, you take truthful. Doesn't matter if daddy is beating up mommy. This is what relationships are. The way my mommy loves my daddy, the way my mommy loves my daddy, the way my daddy loves my mommy, that's the way relationships are. So when you say to someone, do you know what love is? They'll go, yes, I do. And guess what? They're talking from 0 to 7. People don't know that. Listen, if you were to totally love, honor, respect yourself, you'd never have cellulite. There is no weight loss, okay? There is no weight loss you need. It's get the weight off of your shoulders by changing your belief systems first and foremost. And what I was telling you, 5,000 years ago, the feminine energy ruled the world. Masculine energy took over. And I did a video called I Am Woman, and I proved the whole thing. I show the whole history. And the reality is that women gave up their power. And then guess what? When women wanted to be liberated in the 70s, and they all wanted to go out and get jobs because they all felt that they had to be liberated, that's when the food corporations brought in all the poisonous food and the microwaves. That women got set up again, and they lost their power. And believe it or not, guess what? Women were the fabric holding the family together. And your cellulite was based on the women that liberated themselves, because the women that liberated themselves no longer did a lot of cooking or a lot of food prep with love and care. It was all rushed meals. How about this? How about TV dinners? How about craft dinner? How about instant oatmeal? How about instant everything? Today we're into instant everything. Okay, we have a throwaway love affair. We have a throwaway food. We have throwaway everything. Right? So let's talk about cellulite. I'm going to explain it, and then we're going to talk about what to do with it. First of all, cellulite is older toxic fat cells. First, let's understand, everybody, I just took too much IGF. So if you see me getting really red, IGF-1 is made by your liver up until your 30s, till about 30. And IGF-1 is made from human growth hormone. And I just took a swig because I was in a hurry here because we couldn't get this working. And I think I double dosed. But it's okay. I'll go red here. But the reality is it's flushing out my toxins. And IGF-1 makes you toned and makes you sharp. Okay? And that's what gives you your youth back. So that's what I did today. And that's why right now I look like I'm going to be a Martian, except red. Okay. So now let's look at it. Here's the deal. Fat cells protect the body. Megan, say that. Fat cells protect the body.
Fat cells protect the body.
Yes, okay. Now, when they get older and less oxygen and they get more crystallized and they lose more circulation, that's when they become cellulite. If ever you feel cellulite, it's cold. It's not warm. Yeah. There's no circulation, okay? And that is a really good area for mutation. Lack of oxygen, because we know that the cancer word, which we call stage 4 inflammation, then we know we can deal with it, is actually where can you get IGF-1 from? We sell it. Go to store.docofdetox.com, and right now I'm having my biggest sale I've ever had in 40 years because I've been in practice for 40 years as of this month. Okay, anyways, so where was I? Yes, so what's your emotional chokehold? What is it that you don't like about Megan? Be honest. What don't you like about Megan? What have you not liked about Megan since you were a little girl? Now, on an emotional and physical level, give it to me. And you know what? I'm going to tell you something. You already know. And this is your subconscious blocking it. I know what I did not like about myself until I unconditionally learned how to love and care for myself. And guess what, Megan? I just showed you something. You already know. Now, when we come off of here, you're going to go, Oh, wow. Now that I'm relaxed, I know exactly what it is. And understand, did you know that your subconscious, did you know that the human brain is not smart? Did you know that the human brain should not be called the human brain? It should be called the human computer chemistry set. We get ruled, schooled, screwed, and fooled on a continual basis. I need you to get this. The brain is not smart. It is only smart if you've got smart beliefs. You are only healthy if you've got healthy beliefs. You're only toned if you have toned beliefs. Okay? You're sick if you have sick beliefs and you don't even know it because they're in your subconscious. Understand something. Everybody out there, the amount of money that they make is dependent on their beliefs. No, it's not true. Yes, it is, and I can prove it. The shape of your body is dependent on your beliefs. The clothes you wear is dependent on your beliefs. The way your children's personalities develop is based on your beliefs and your husband's beliefs. So when you and your husband don't come together and you're not feeding your spirit, and when you're not based on unconditional love, you screw your children up like I screw my children up, like every other parent screws their children up. If you have any kind of sinner syndrome, if you have the failure thing, or your kids are never good enough, okay, because you've been never good enough. So understand, we treat or mistreat our children the way we were mistreated and the way we mistreat ourselves. Do you believe that? And I'm coming back to this because we're going to come back to the cellulite. Because understand something. Fat cells are only made in the body to store emotional and physical toxins. And if you didn't have fat, okay, then you would have mutation. Because if you can't store emotional and physical toxins, inflammation and infection in cells, and that's why we say issues in the tissues. But before you had issues in the tissues, you had epigenetic, because there are no genetic diseases. And I want everyone to know this. Come and challenge me on this. There's not one genetic disease out there. Everything is curable, but only when you rewrite the story. You know, if you are able to rewrite the story and not focus on the cellulite, on how the cellulite is making you feel ugly. Because when you think of cellulite, what do you think, Megan?
Yeah, I feel like it's ugly. I also feel like it's like suppressing my body, my natural body.
Megan, the word ugly is going to stand out more than any other word in the sentence when you think of cellulite. And the universe works like this. You are only going to get what you focus on the most. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm a sinner. I'm a failure. Okay, nobody loves me. Okay, I don't know how to make money. Look at people who have poverty consciousness. They're always going to be broke. You know, there's people out there that are not that smart, but they have a belief that they can make money easy. And what happens, Megan? They make money easy. That's right. So everything is belief systems. So if you hate the cellulite, it's the energy you put into hating the cellulite that's going to cement it. Yeah. If you look at the cellulite as, okay, I need to lighten up. I need to lighten up. I need to get into a more whole plant-based diet. I need to cleanse my colon and my liver. So that will help to detox on the physical level. So daily cleansing tea, black gold. And as far as your liver goes, nobody can cleanse their liver with taking herbs. I don't care what people say, you can't do it. You cannot do it. And the only reason why you got gallbladder problems is because the anger and the toxins that the liver cannot process get dumped into the actual gallbladder. And that's where we get calcium and we get cholesterol coming together as gallstones. Do you understand? Yeah. So it's like the flow over. Okay. So the reality is, if we can clean the colon and bring strength to it, because the smartest part of a human being is their bacteria, which the food corporations and the medical system have no problem attacking on a day-to-day basis, because 80% of all antibiotics are in food products. And understand, you want to know where your cellulite comes from? Do you eat animal products, Megan?
Yes.
Are they free range and organic, Megan?
Most of the time, but not always.
No. Most of the time they're not, okay? Yeah. The milk, the dairy, the cheese, do you eat those?
No, I don't eat milk or dairy, but I do eat like beef and chicken.
Do you eat cheese? Do you eat yogurt?
No.
Okay, good. Because that's really fattening and it's loaded with antibiotics. Did you know that if you eat an animal product or a byproduct once a day for 30 days, you've taken in enough antibiotics that you took a round of antibiotics as if you had a prescription for a week. Well, remember, 80% of them are going into the animals, and what that does, that distorts your bacteria, which are in your large intestine, and believe it or not, then they become corrupted, and that's where a lot of the fat cells come to. Remember what you said about the pot belly?
Yeah.
If you never had a pot belly, you wouldn't have cellulite. A pot belly is created because of bad bacteria and rotting of your foodstuffs in your large intestine. That's a compost, you know. So the reality is you were miseating. So you're probably mixing starches and proteins together. You probably were eating a lot of sugar, a lot of flour products, and a lot of animal products, and you weren't digesting them properly. It's a 30-foot journey. And the reason why we have a pot belly is because we have our own manure pile, and those bacteria are giving off gas. And now you're pooping in your pelvis. That's why if you weren't pooping in your pelvis, then you wouldn't have fat cells around your abdomen and on your hips, okay? And do you ever notice where cellulite is? Where's cellulite? Where's your cellulite?
Mine's on my hips, my legs, and my arms.
Oh my God, there you go. Pooping in the pelvis. Can't shake your hips like Elvis, because guess what? You're full of cellulite. So it used to be fat cells. And then what happens? They became very toxic, no oxygen, no circulation, and now they look cheesy. So understand, you know how you're going to get rid of those?
How?
Okay, well, the one thing is, where do you live?
Burlington.
Oh, you live in Burlington. Okay. Well, understand, you're going to have to get the clapper out. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But you're going to have to pick on an area. Okay. Now, if you clap an area, then you're going to increase circulation. If you increase circulation, okay, then you're going to, guess what? Bring down inflammation, and you're going to clear these out. I'm going to tell you right now, clapping is the key. But you know where the areas of cellulite are? On your hips and around your upper legs, but around your groin, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's because
thighs.
And the thighs, yeah, I know, but here's the pelvis. You've been pooping in your pelvis since you were a little girl. I had a pot belly since I was a little girl. Are you going to go and do a whole plant-based diet and go to more of vegetable proteins like avocado, and go to learning how to make beans well, or things of that nature? I mean, I'm going to tell you something. I have like 3 or 4 bowel movements every morning. And I tell you, I only drink vegetable juices, do Black Diamond, do Black Gold. I do a blender drink every day, a big one of what's called amino cell, along with strawberries, and organic strawberries, oat milk, and some Black Gold in it. And I blend that up. I'll have one of those. I'll drink usually a couple bottles of carrot juice. I'll do 3 quarts of water, structured water with Black Diamond in it. And I'll eat one meal around 5 o'clock. I'll have 3 or 4 bowel movements, and people are going, he's unhealthy. No, because it's so full of water and fiber. Understand, water's the first key. Structured water. You got to do structured water. Structured water will hydrate into your cells 1,000% better. And you know what? Use any filtration you want. It could be distilled, reverse osmosis. It could be a Kangen water system. It could be a Berkey. But the reality is, it's got to be structured. Structured water has 1,000% better hydration. You've seen our structure units, right? That we sell on our website. Okay.
I bought one.
Well, structure everything you drink, but first thing in the morning, start off with 1 quart of structured water, warm to hot, with Black Diamond in it to suck up all the acid in you. Okay. That's the first thing, because you detoxify. Okay, from 4 in the morning until 12 noon. If you were to just drink lots of water, or maybe just do a blender drink by 11 o'clock, but do Black Diamond and warm water, and then a blender drink at 11, and then a really big, beautiful salad at 12 o'clock, another blender drink in the afternoon, and then guess what? Another large salad with avocado or a large salad with beans, and you went on a diet like that, you would have more nutrition than you've ever had before. And remember something, the main cause that people are suffering today is because there's no humic fulvic left in the soil. And that's why we always have people take Black Diamond and put that in their blender drinks. I mean, Black Gold in their blender drinks. And then we have them put Black Diamond in all their drinking water or in what they're drinking, because the Black Gold goes through from the mouth to the rectum and picking up the acidity. You do know if you take a little bit of Black Gold that works on the digestive tract, and then black diamond that goes in the bloodstream in the brain, you'll never have parasites or heavy metals. There's people that take zeolite, or they take bentonite, or they take activated charcoal, or they take let me think here. Well, they take other products, but they don't work like this. Humic fulvic, and we're the only company in the world that actually don't use chemicals to process our humic fulvic, and that is something I'm proud of. All right, and you start doing that. Do that. Do you do that? Do you do the daily cleansing?
I have the daily cleanse tea, and I have both those products, and I haven't changed my diet. Like I haven't, but that's why I wanted to ask you what tea. But it's already helped with certain things, like just my digestion, and without even being focused on the plant-based part yet.
What blood type are you? Do you know what blood type you are? Are you O? Are you A?
I think A positive.
Oh my God, I knew it. I was going to say it because I knew I was going to be right. I never usually bring this up. A lot of people, there was a doctor named Dr. Diadamo, and he wrote the book, The Blood Type Diet. Now, whether you believe this or not, okay, I had my clinic, and it was about 4 blocks from him, and we'd meet every Thursday and go out to supper. He's no longer alive. But anyways, we would have this discussion all the time, and blood typing is only right to a point. I would never follow his program, and I know that he's wrong, okay, because you can't make things, everything needs to be logical. And guess what, love? You're blood type A. That means if you eat animal products, you are in big trouble. You're in big trouble. O's, their hydrochloric acid is way stronger than an A. I'm an A. If I ate an animal product today, I could get away with it. If I ate it tomorrow, I feel sluggish. If I ate it for the 3rd day, I'm jammed up jelly tight. You know, I wouldn't be lean, keen, sexy machine. There's no way. If you're not going to embrace a whole plant-based diet, you're going to be Miss Chubby. You can't get away from it. And understand something. Did you notice something? How old are you?
47.
47. Did you notice that when you were 30, your digestion went whoop? You couldn't eat this food and digest it as good, and you got bloated even more, and you were more tired. And then when you became 40, whoop, it dropped again because here's the deal. And I'm going to tell you something. If you were to really embrace my work, we could turn you around. You know how many people need to do therapeutic vomiting? Everybody, because we swallowed bullshit from the government, from corporations, from the medical system, from our teachers, all of them. They're all programmed. Okay, we swallow BS from everyone. Why? Why do we do that? Well, because we want people's approval. I don't need anybody's approval. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. I don't take anything personal because I know that I am a radical in a way that my thinking is that the way I live. But honestly, think about it, you know? I'm 67 and I'm only getting started, girl. And the reality is my parents both, and most of my relatives are gone now, but my parents passed away before 55. So understand that most of them are heart disease and cancer. And I've got a strong heart. I've got no cancer. I'll never have any disease in my life. I already know that. But if you were going to embrace doing things like vaginal infusions, if you were going to embrace the ultimate coffee enema, if you were going to embrace, do you ever feel nauseous and sick to your stomach and you didn't eat anything? Do you know that ready for this? 95% of all food poisoning is emotional poisoning. A person just can't digest the food, or it was a little bit tainted, and they don't even have enough hydrochloric acid to even be able to, because hydrochloric acid will destroy bacteria, any infectious material, fungus. It'll destroy parasites for a healthy person. But an unhealthy person that the hydrochloric acid is weak, okay, then things don't get digested. And let me ask you a question. When you're at the table, Megan, is it a beautiful, calm place for the children? Are you talking?
Yes.
And does mommy chew her food until it's a liquid? Like, do you drink your solids? Do you chew your liquids, Megan? Or are you just thinking about all the things you got to do and then be done this with the kids and this with the kids and then get them to bed?
Yeah. Well, no, we have more mindfulness in our house. But as far as I go with my relationship with food, I think I chew food thinking I'm fat. So it could be like good food, and they still have. I have bad beliefs about that.
No, you just don't. You just don't. Okay, you just have not bought into the idea that you are beautiful, and that you need to have. Do you know where the biggest love relationship needs to be? With yourself. Hey, listen, no, don't do that. Feel guilty about it. Feel like a sinner, okay? And let's see how much your girls love and protect themselves when they start dating, when they go to school, what kind of crap they put up with, and who they start hanging around with, because mommy didn't say love, honor, and protect yourself first and foremost before anyone else or anything else, so help you God. And believe it or not, if you started doing that, the cellulite would leave. Okay, because when you're unwilling to let go of things that no longer serve you, they create cement in the body, and that's called fat and cellulite, scar tissue, tumors, pimples, cysts.
I had a C-section.
Oh, well, there you go. That's it. Let me tell you something. Where do you live?
In Burlington. I want to come see your son while he's in town.
Oh, well, just know this, okay? You come and see him, and then I'd like you to do a one-a-day with me, okay? Yeah. Okay, and guess what? We're going to work on your C-section with Wolf Non-Surgical, and you know what you're going to say? Oh my God, I feel free. You'll be able to digest after that. If you've had a C-section, just know this. Okay, think about this. They're taking a knife and cutting right through. Yeah. Right through to get the baby out. Yes or no? Yeah. Do you know how traumatizing that is to every cell that has emotion and feeling?
I can imagine.
You can't imagine. So every cell feels terrorized. Now, the more inflammation that the tissue has, the more scar tissue that area builds. When we go, okay, first of all, can we see the scar from the C-section?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to make you a promise. When you come, do a one-a-day after you get it done. And you know what you're going to say? I'm going to tell you that after we do the C-section, that it's going to be pink, and it's not going to be brown gray. And that's because that tissue is getting no oxygen because of the scar tissue. We're going to open up the fibers, and guess what? Did you know that if we were to do you 3 times on that C-section, because you've got 2 to 3 inch feeders coming off of it, and they're called what? Adhesions, wrapped around your small and large intestine, around your ovaries, okay, around your fallopian tubes, around your bladder. You think I'm kidding? I'm telling you the truth. We'll get in there and you'll feel them. They're this long, and we will open them up and they will disappear. Why will they disappear? Okay, they're going to disappear because once you open, okay, here, there's your beautiful tissue, your connective tissue. They cut into it, it gets terrorized and inflamed. All the fibers stick together. Then what happens because of the trauma, you start getting adhesions coming off of the actual scar. Well, we'll prove it to you. Every woman has them. Those adhesions wrap around your small intestine, large intestine, ovaries, uterus, bladder. Okay? It can make lovemaking painful. It will give you urinary tract infections. Okay? You'll feel like there's a tugging going on in here, that somebody's knotted you up because you have been knotted up. Understand, anybody that gets surgery anywhere, Megan, needs Wolf Non-Surgical. And I say Wolf Non-Surgical because do you know another therapist that gives a money-back guarantee that in the first treatment will do more and create a bloody miracle for you? And if we don't, we'll refund your money. We won't take it from you. And I've been doing this for 40 years. Okay, people will leave their canes sitting in the corner. Women that say that they can't digest and their life is over. See, you're not going to lose the weight, Megan, because it's not your fault. So know this, that scar tissue is like a beaver dam. It's blocking up the flow. And if you want to know where you're going to get fibroids, if you want to know where you're going to grow tumors, okay, that's why a lot of women who have cesareans, they leak from their belly button. And that's actually pus and fluid, because there's actually rotting going on, okay? That's what scar tissue is. Go feel your scar right now. It feels tough. And if you push on it, you'll feel that it goes about this deep, and then I'll show you there's feeders, and whether you believe this or not, those adhesions can wrap themselves around your spine. Now,
I feel like they're around my liver even. It's like tight all over it.
I'm telling you that it's the truth, and when we go to do it, You know, if we were to actually go live when we work on you, we could prove it. But except you're going to be doing this. Because it's, you know, it's a little bit painful because we're pulling scar tissue apart. But understand something. You're going to be getting a few minutes of grunting and groaning, and you're going to go, Dr. Sage, and he's going to go, what? I haven't felt like this in 20 or 30 years.
Yeah.
And it's not going to come back if you're going to go on the whole plant-based diet. But please embrace vaginal infusion, ultimate coffee enema. Okay. Embrace therapeutic vomiting. You can see all of these in the do-it-yourself guide in my library. If you go to my library at docofdetox.com. But it's a whole plant-based diet you need. You know what? I need you to start doing the Braveheart Oath, love. Give me 1 second here. Where is that? Here. Okay. And do you know how badly you need? Okay, let me just show you this first. Do you know how badly you should be doing clapping on the areas that are tough? Let me give you some tips right now. So I want you to do clapping. Okay. I want you to pick an area. So tonight I'm going to clap, okay, where my tummy is hanging a little bit right here and where the scar tissue is. Okay, I'm going to clap that. And if the more it bruises, the more you lack circulation, more infection, and the more emotional suppression is in there. Because let me tell you something, Megan, if you can't address it, you suppress it. Do you get that? And that's why you make me sick to my stomach. This makes me sick to my stomach. My stomach's in knots. So look at these things I'm telling you. But you want to clap. Okay, now here's the deal. You ready? You want to clap those areas that are cold and have cellulite. They lack circulation. And if they bruise, that's how contaminated and corrupted the tissue is. If you don't believe me, go to look at Clapping for Life, Clapping for Health in my library and watch how to clap for your heart and lungs right here, and clap that for 5 minutes, and then you'll know how emotionally messed up you are. Because understand something, Megan, heart disease is the main killer, and it's not because of what we eat. It's because our heart records all our love affairs, and most of them suck. Okay, husband and wife stuff, please. I've been doing this for 40 years. Okay, don't be a husband and wife. Be two spirit beings coming together to rock the world, to feed your spirit, to let your kids off the hook from every rule that's been made, whether it's religious or whether it's governmental. It's all mental. If these rules are suppressing their little spirits, you need to think about it. Because guess what, Megan? What do you know what humans do? They get taught things and they don't even look at them or observe them and decide whether or not they should keep them. Okay? Now, so you want to do the clapping, but you need to do belly button therapy. Do you know about it?
Yep, I have that. I have both.
But are you doing it first thing in the morning before you get out of bed? And are you doing it last thing before bed?
No. So I was do you push it or do you just when you
Okay, Megan, if you go into my library to the do-it-yourself guide, belly button therapy's in there. And you do know that if you do this, you release more dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins than any other procedure, even more than lovemaking. Yeah. Okay. And you do know that if you do that for 5 to 7 minutes, it increases your stretch in your body by 20 to 25%. And guess what? It releases all this dopamine. It gets you into a relaxed healing state. Because as long as you're going to stress out and have anxiety about life and your kids, cellulite's going nowhere. It's going to cement itself right into you. Okay? So you need to go and just watch it. You know what? It takes like 10 minutes to learn the routine, how to put the little belly button buddy in there and do it. And if you did this twice a day, you're going to lose weight. Do you know why people don't lose weight? Because they have anxiety and stress about something. What if you were using this and calming yourself down and putting yourself into a peaceful state? Okay, ready for something else? Here's something you're going to love about cellulite. And don't overdo it, okay? All right, so here it is. Skin brushing. If you skin brush the cellulite areas at least once a day. Now, you ready for something else? Did you ever see the Epsom salt glow?
No.
Okay, well, this is the things, okay? So if you go into my library, go click on the Healthy to 100 guide. And in there, go to the back of the book, Beautiful Skin. Okay. And at the back of the book, take a look at the Epsom salt glow and the cocoa Epsom salt glow.
Okay.
Now, guess what? If I take, like, okay, just know this, I am going to be living somewhere. I don't know where because we're doing this world tour. I'm going to pick somewhere else to open up my new clinic, right? And there's going to be a beach. You know what we do? We go to the beach and we go there at least every other day and we do what's called a sand scrub. Now, you could do it on a freshwater lake, but I'm going to live on the ocean. And what we do is we go down to where the water's coming in. We sit there. We grab the wet sand and we scrub. And that wet sand has magnesium in it. It has iodine in it. And we scrub our whole body. You should see what your skin looks like and how beautiful you are. We have people coming to us that have radiation and chemotherapy, and they have the skin of a 200-year-old looking withered person. And within days of doing the things that we say in the diets and doing things with us, that guess what? Their skin looks 30 years younger. I'm not kidding. So you want to do, because you live in Burlington, you're not going to be going down to the lake. So the reality is you take Epsom salts, you wet it down to the consistency of wet sand, and then you take a stool, put it in your shower. You can scrub your whole body with it. Okay. And gosh, wait till you see how beautiful your skin's going to be. Okay. Now, hold on a second. You can put essential oils in. I like to put in mine Muscle Restore because I really love the smell and it really helps to restore the muscles. It's a product we have. And you'll put that in and then you'll scrub your whole body. Now, for the cellulite areas, only the cellulite areas, okay, love? 1 cup of Epsom salts. You're going to wet it down to the consistency of sand. Okay. All right. Yeah. But you're going to, before you do that, you're going to mix 1 teaspoon to 1 cup of cayenne pepper. Now you're going to go, you're going to love this. You're going to go and scrub the cellulite areas, and those suckers don't have a chance. Now, only do those areas because it does heat up. I've had women go, I hate my body or something. I don't know what they're doing. And they'll do a cayenne Epsom salt scrub on their whole body, and then their whole body's on fire. Yeah. Now they didn't injure themselves, but please don't be obsessive because I know you are. You're obsessive, and guess what? This is why you're always going to have cellulite, and you're always going to be pissed off about yourself because you've never learned how to love yourself. Right. Right? Am I right or wrong?
Yes.
Oh, but guess what? You love your husband, you love your children, and guess what? Sometimes you feel like they don't love you, and you know what? So that makes you a terrorist. If you could learn how to love yourself completely and fill up your own heart and shine that light on your girls and your husband, how much more would your girls love, honor, and respect themselves as they grow? How many times do you think they pick a cigarette or vaping or toking or smoking or drinking or drugs if they unconditionally love themselves because mommy did it? Huh? If you love something, you don't torture it, do you? Unless, and remember something, you can't give what you're not. And right now, what you do give is you're not enough. You're not beautiful. You're not sexy. And so you will be passing that energy on to your girls. This is not to make you feel guilty, but do you believe that you can only give what you are?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So, have you been practicing this?
No.
Guess what? I already know that. If you were to get up and put this on the mirror and you were to practice this, okay, and do this every morning, right away when you wake up, go into the bathroom because we know you do. You're going to look in the mirror, okay, and you're going to look into your beautiful eyes. And every time you're going to do this 10 times, and every time you say it, you're going to say it with all your heart, all your passion, and all your love, and you watch the cellulite melt. Okay. Remember something, the psychological rules the biological, and a person only has a tumor because they need somewhere to store all that hate and anger. You get it? A person only has heart disease because their heart has been broken so much because they don't fill up their own heart. They wait for the world to come and do it, and then they end up having the same relationships over and over again, okay? And because guess what? They want to fix their relationship with mommy or daddy, and it's none of your business. And the reality is this: if you don't change your personality, you're not going to change your reality. So you just keep on waiting for your husband to love you and to tell you you're sexy and beautiful, okay, when he's never been taught to do that. And he'll only do it when he's horny, and that's it. Okay? And I mean this in the nicest way. I'm not putting him down. Okay? It's just that everybody's caught up in their head. He loves you the best he can, and that's probably not enough, is it, Megan? It's never enough that our husband loves us, because our husband hasn't learned how to love himself. Because men were taught to suppress their emotions. Be a man. Okay, well, how's that work for you? You would love your husband to talk to you more, be more open, right, Megan? And guess what? That's not going to happen, Megan. It's not going to happen unless your husband were to go and crack his own coconut and say, yeah, I should learn and have a better relationship. And I won't have that unless I learn how to communicate with myself. And then I can communicate better with my wife. And guess what? They need to be brave. They can't show that they have emotion. They can't do this stuff. So Megan, you can wait all day long for him to fill up your heart like a gas tank. And all you're going to get is more cellulite. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Things don't get better, Megan, unless somebody changes. Okay? Do you understand? Okay. So here it is, Megan. I don't know if people can see this, but I'm going to try to put it. There we go. All right. And here we go. And you're going to look in the mirror and you're going to go, I am loved. I am healed. I am Braveheart. Today and every day, from the moment I rise until I gently close my eyes, I will trust, honor, respect, protect, forgive, and totally love myself first and foremost before anyone else or anything else. So help me God, because I can, I'm healed, I'm Braveheart. And each time you say it, you look in your eyes and you look right straight into your eyes and you mean it. And you bloody well get in there, lovey, and you let yourself off the hook for everything that you've been accused of. Every sin, every failure, because guess what? From now on, when you fall, you're going to fall forward. And from now on, you don't need approval from anybody, because I know who you are, Megan. You have always done your best. And if you think that which created the universe has ever had one bad thought about you, then you've been ruled and screwed. And guess what? You just get ready, baby, because you're going to have a bumpy ride. So understand this. God is beyond love. I don't want to get into that. It's my own business. But I do not buy into the BS belief systems that 99.9% of the population are chewing down and making themselves sick to their stomach. And that's why they need to throw up. And I'm going to tell you something. I put therapeutic vomiting together, and we'll have people with tumors, heart disease. We'll have people with migraines, pain throughout their body, fibromyalgia, nervous system disorders. We'll get them to do therapeutic vomiting, vaginal infusions if they're women. Did you know that if you put anything nutraceutical or nutritional in your vagina, that it has an absorption of 500 to 1,000% more than your mouth? Yeah, but nobody's going to tell you this. And we've put together the most nutritional vaginal infusion for every woman. And if you do that, did you know you can heal everything in the pelvis? Did you know that? Yeah. No more dryness, no more smelly vaginal canal. Okay. No more bladder infections, no more endometriosis, no more infertility. All this stuff can be turned around. I'm calling on every medical doctor, surgeon, or anybody else that wants to challenge me on my show, because I am going to be going around the world and I am going to be shouting out to every human being that they've been lied to. And Megan, say this now. Say, I am beautiful.
I am beautiful.
I am so beautiful.
I am so beautiful.
You are. You are so beautiful.
Thank you.
Okay? So what I want you to do, Megan, is I want you to go into the library and I want you to go take a look at what's called the 4 pillars of the perfect day. I want you to look at the 4 pillars, okay? And then what I want you to do is I want you to also go look at how to become number 1 at the art of number 2, please, with your girls and your husband, and watch it. Okay. Because every bowel movement is a computer printout. Okay? Do you understand me? And then I also want you to go and watch in the Reverse the Irreversible. There's a 2-hour video for you and your husband, and you're going to find out how they have set you up to hate yourself, and then hate yourself enough that you're willing to allow them to cut pieces of you out, and to take drugs to suppress your feelings, and how you can go from emotional issues to physical issues to actually limping to canes to walkers to wheelchairs to surgery to drugs, okay? And how we'll sell ourselves off by the pound because we're just unworthy. I'm going to tell you something. There's nothing unworthy about me. And I want you to understand this. Stop saying, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Don't say sorry anymore. Don't do it. If you feel you need to apologize because you actually intentionally hurt someone, do it. But stop apologizing. Do you understand? We have been taught to apologize because we're actual slaves. Did you know that planet Earth is actually a slave planet until you understand that once you feed your spirit and once you don't bend the rules or break the rules, but make your own rules, okay? These are all rules for fools. Now, you're going, what's that got to do with cellulite? Well, for one thing, it's issues in the tissues. And to have cellulite, you're suppressing things that aren't true about yourself. Yes. What do you think would happen if you thought you were just totally unconditionally beautiful and you don't need anyone's forgiveness for anything that you've ever done? How would that make you feel, Megan?
Free.
Okay, there it is. But guess what? Every religious person now is going to tell me that I'm going to hell for that. So understand, this is how screwed up we are. Okay, so now Dr. Wolf is going to hell. There'll be someone here on the watch. Just go back and watch it later on Facebook or somewhere. Dr. Wolf, you know what? You're going to hell. Wait till they see you at the pearly gates. You know what? I got to tell you something. Everybody makes up a story, okay? And I'm gonna make up a story that I can live with, that I can thrive with, okay? Understand that. So you just think about it. I want you to keep checking in with yourself. I want you to wear a slight smile on your face. You do a lot, but you wear it all the time, no matter how the world's suffering, what's going on with the world. Mind your own business. You've got yourself first and foremost, then your beautiful husband and your beautiful girls. And remember something, as long